Greetings. It's Deborah A. I want to start by saying I use Deborah A for the sake of safety and because none of the last names that I've had up until now in my life are actually aligned with where I am now and where I'm headed. So for the meantime, I'm just leaving them off and going with Deborah A. A stands for Adugo, which is my middle name. It is Igbo, and it hails from West Africa, from Nigeria. My parents are members of the Igbo tribe, and so that is the Igbo name that they gave me. It means precious daughter, daughter of an eagle, and it is given only to firstborn daughters in a family. So there you go. There's a little about me. Why am I here today? I felt called to share a few things to make it really simple and clear as to what my world is about and how it might be able to influence or rock yours. So I'm just going to go very briefly to introduce some of the things that I'm very passionate about and where I see the space where I can be of service and of value to others, and also where I'm learning. So I live right now on the unceded lands of the Hohokam and Thana Autumn people of southern Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona is where I live right now, and learning about the stewards of the land that was and is still known as Turtle Island, North America. I'm learning about the different ways that colonialism still affects the way that I think and I look at things and I operate. And as I'm learning, I'm inviting others to join me on the journey because it is not one that is supposed to be done in isolation. We did not get here by ourselves. We got here as communities, as societies, as groups. And so wherever it is we're going, we're also going to need to go as a community, as a society, as a group. So a couple of things I want to start out with: finances. So I see, this is how Deborah sees the world. I see the money economy, which is the status quo, business as usual, capitalism, the extractive way of taking from the free gifts that we've received freely and turning them into something that people need to pay for with money, that continually needs to grow, continually consumes more and more, and consumes in a very wasteful and destructive way that just basically is harmful to all life on the planet. There is no one who is winning, in my belief, from the money economy and that game. And then there's the gift or solidarity or community economy. It has many names, but it is the economy that's actually keeping life going. It is the economy that makes a mother breastfeed, stay up late at night caring for her child, that makes trees take carbon dioxide from our exhales and turn it into oxygen that we can breathe in. It is the sun that gives us warmth and energy and fuel. It is photosynthesis. It is greens. It is chlorophyll. It is the beating heart of an animal who intentionally gives its life so that we can continue to live. This is the heartbeat of the gift economy. It works on reciprocity, it works on gratitude, and it works on the idea that there is always more than enough. So that's a little bit about my take on finances and the way that I am approaching life right now in this moment. And I'm continually improving, refining, and moving closer to what my values are. It is a very long process because we started so far, 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 far away from that economy. But that's what we're moving back to. And at the same time, we've always been there. We've always been in it. A good example of the gift economy is a library. That's probably the one structure or institution that many people are familiar with that is truly operating in the gift economy. All right, moving on to the second thing after finances, I would say it's business. And I already mentioned business as usual, but just going into this idea that business is about providing a service, I agree with that. The question is, what story are we serving? Are we serving the story of interbeing, which is how life actually works? Everything is interconnected, nothing is separate from the other, and what you do to harm one always comes back to harm you. Or are we operating and serving the story of separation, which is that we are individuals, we are separate, there's good and bad, and by making the bad a villain and harming the bad, somehow we're immune to that. It's all a lie. It's an illusion. It's not true. And so working to move business from serving the story of separation, which has just caused untold suffering for all life on the planet, to moving into serving the story of interbeing. These phrases, story of separation, story of interbeing, space between stories, they are not mine. I learned them from an author, orator, philosopher by the name of Charles Eisenstein. I love his work. Check him out. Um, anyway, so I just wanted to make that clear. I love his framing, and that's why I use it. Um, he has the wisdom of the world that's coming. And when I say the world or the era that's coming, one of my favorite questions to ask business owners is, do you know what time it is? Most business owners are not operating like they know what time it is. And that's okay. Zero judgment. I'm not here to judge. I'm just not here to serve the operations of supporting the story of separation. I'm here to serve people who understand that we are in a period of global transition. The world as we knew it is crumbling, and we see emerging a new world. We don't see much of it just yet, but we can sense that things are not going to be the same. How do we serve that new story? How do we serve that emerging era? This is part of my exploration, and it's also part of what, again, I want to journey with others. So if this is something that's of interest to you, then tune in. Okay, so we talked a bit about finance, we talked a bit about business, how we can serve a different story. Let's look at personal relationships. They also tie in with business and finances, but let's just be really specific. All of us have had an initiation in, or let's say we've had an invitation to be initiated into a different way of being than our society teaches us we should be. Most people ignore their invitations because it's inconvenient, right? And then many of us cannot ignore the invitations. And yet, often I find that even when we have the invitation and we accept it, we still often get caught in dead ends and loops and distractions that move us away from what could really truly be an amazing experience. So for some of us, it's health. We have health issues that invite us into looking at things differently. For some of us, we've lost loved ones. For some of us, we've gone through incredible violence. My initiation or my invitation into initiation was through domestic violence. That's not uncommon. And in fact, I would say probably a good solid third of our population has been directly affected, and that there's probably not a single human on the planet that has not witnessed or known of someone close to them that's been either a perpetrator and a victim of domestic violence, because usually both go hand in hand. And so it is a very pervasive global epidemic that is hushed, that is ignored, that is often suppressed in our societal institutions, or if it is talked about, it is done in such a way that is completely disempowering and not helpful. Um, so that was my invitation to step into a different way of being. I actually had two invitations. My other invitation was through my religion, and that was also another invitation to step into a different way of being. And so personal relationships are very, very important to me. I think about them very deeply, And there's something that I'm here. One of my purposes is to support people in being able to navigate challenging relationships. There's a scene at the very end of the story of the Avatar, The Last Airbender. It's a Nickelodeon cartoon, and it also was a movie. And the very last episode, he learns about bending the will of another person. And so he has to battle this fire lord, and he doesn't want to. He does Everyone's telling him, even previous avatars are telling him he has to kill the fire lord, and he doesn't want to. He wants to find a way to peaceably allow for this fire lord to keep his life, but he doesn't know how. And so finally, a very wise ancient being, a turtle lion, shows him a way to bend the will of another. And the turtle lion says that he has to be of pure heart, and his heart has to be of pure light. For him to be able to bend the will of another, he has to become unbendable. So I guess that's my journey. My journey is into becoming unbendable so that I can be a part of bending the will of those who may genuinely, not knowing any better, uh, be doing things that are perpetrating a lot of harm. I lived it personally in my own family situation, and I had to understand that while I am not about violence, to protect myself and my dependent from violence, I needed to be able to become unbendable and to bend the will of one who was insistent on perpetrating violence towards us. So, finding the balance, being able to see the beauty in others while at the same time still acknowledging that some things needed to change and taking the actions that were needed to make that change, that is something I feel very passionately about. And the lessons that I learned from those experiences have rippled out into every aspect of my life. So I just talked about money, business, personal relationships, violence. I would sum it up by saying that we are all suffering from the harmful effects of colonialism, from the harmful effects of capitalism gone a little crazy. And it's our privilege, it is an honor to be able to wake up from that system that in every way is just trying to preserve itself. It's just trying to do what it does. And those of us who are waking up from that system and way of thinking and being, we will feel unsupported because that system does not want to support a different ideology or a different perspective. It wants to support the things that will keep it going, even as it destroys everything. So if you're waking up, if you're feeling like, yeah, business as usual isn't working, this way of seeing the world in good versus evil, right versus wrong, left versus right, black versus white, whatever you want to call it, right? If this isn't working for you and you're ready to do something different, well, I may have some tools, some ideas, some perspectives that will be helpful for you. So I actually have a free PDF that covers 18 different questions that purpose-driven leaders face. Basically, it's 9 questions, but that you can look at it as an individual or you can look at it as a team leader. And so if that's something that you think you'd like to check out, just comment question below and I'm more than happy to share that free PDF with you. Yeah, I think that's all that I want to say today. It is an honor to be here. As I'm moving from centering on the money economy to centering more on the gift economy, that's what I call it, I'm learning a lot. It is a beautiful journey. It's far from over for me. And I hope that you will join me on, if it's just for a few minutes or a few days or a few months or a few years or for a lifetime. I am looking for those who are waking up from this old story and really want to be and feel supported. I'm here for you, and I love you. Even if I don't know you personally, I have nothing but love for you because you are me and I am you. And um, best thing we can do is start by loving ourselves, right? So it's an honor to be here with you today. Much love, and I look forward to connecting with you further.